Hello, new Sandy employees. Welcome to the 2019-2020 Handbook Training, and we'd like to welcome you aboard as part of our Sandy City team. So first, in the Employee Handbook, you will see the table of contents, and this outlines the various policies that will be listed in this handbook for your information and reference. So first, part one is a welcome to Sandy City. We just want you to understand that we're grateful to have you as part of our team and that we're wishing you luck and success in this position. And also to understand that this handbook is not a contract. This is just an opportunity for you to be able to understand the policies that we have here in Sandy City. And then we also provide some information about Sandy City for you. Next is our Sandy City mission and values, and we work together to achieve the ASPIRE acronym, which stands for Accountability, Safety and Security, People-Focused, Integrity, Respect, and Excellence. And we try to encourage our employees to exhibit these different values as we're working with each other and also as we are working with the public. And it's important to remember that all of us represent Sandy City while we're working as well as in our personal lives. Part two is employment policies. So it's important to understand that Sandy City is an equal employment opportunity employer and that we recognize the importance of the protected classes and that we make sure that we protect all people that fall under these protected classes, which are race, color, religion, sex, pregnancy, childbirth, pregnancy-related condition, national origin, age, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, genetics, protected veteran status, or any other class that's protected by federal, state, or local employment laws. And this also applies to sexual harassment that we will talk about in the sexual harassment portion of your orientation. So next is medical examinations. So if you are required to have a medical exam as part of your position, we provide information on where to go to participate in those examinations. Next, employment of relatives. Sandy City does allow relatives to work in the same city. However, it is not allowed for a relative to be a direct supervisor of another relative. And we outline what relationships are considered relatives in this section. Next is personnel files. Every employee has a personnel file that is in a locked file room that only members of Human Resources has access to. If you are interested in seeing your personnel file, you are welcome to come to Human Resources. You do have to sign a log in order to have access to your personnel file, but you're welcome to come to Human Resources at any time to review your personnel file. Next is termination of employment. If you desire to terminate your employment, we ask that you give Sandy City 2 weeks notice ahead of time. If it can be in writing, that's preferred, so that we're able to prepare for you separating and that we're able to get everything prepared for your final paycheck. If for some reason you decide not to show up to work and you have not notified your supervisor, it could be considered job abandonment, which could lead to termination. So please make sure that you notify your supervisor if for some reason you cannot report to work when you are scheduled. Next is our compensation policies. So this just outlines the different compensation that is provided for different categories of employees. For this orientation, you are a part-time non-benefited employee, so this explains what you are eligible for. The next page is our regular pay procedures. You are paid bi-weekly every other Friday, unless a holiday falls on that Friday, and then it could be a little different. This is a list of all of the paydays for 2019 and 2020. If you have any questions on that, please consult your supervisor or feel free to reach out to HR. Working hours and lunch breaks. So this goes through the importance of making sure that you understand that you're entitled to breaks based on how many hours you work, and also a lunch break as well. And we do allow lactation breaks as well. Recording your work hours, you will be trained on how to record your work hours. Please make sure that you are reporting them honestly, and that if you have questions, to please make sure that you let your supervisor know. But the pay period begins at 12:01 a.m. on a Friday, and then it ends at 11:59 p.m. on a Thursday 2 weeks later. Okay, next is a copy of your pay stub, and you will be able to log in to access your pay stubs, but this provides a diagram of what the different areas of the pay stub mean. So if you have any questions, you can refer to this or feel free to contact HR. Overtime pay procedures. So this just outlines overtime. If you, for some reason, work over 40 hours in a work week, so from Friday to the following Thursday, you would be eligible for overtime. So please understand that, and then this goes into more detail. Salary program. So it's just important that since we are public employees, we work for government, that we try to stay competitive. So each year we do go out and we do a salary survey to look at what the other cities are paying so that we are able to try and stay competitive with other cities. All right, so here's a list of our holidays. So if you have questions, you're welcome to look and see what holidays we have off. And this would be that if you are working on a holiday, you would be eligible for overtime. Sick leave and attendance. Seasonal and part-time benefited employees do not receive paid sick leave. So please make sure that you notify your supervisor if for some reason you are sick and you're not able to come to work. Please make sure that you notify your supervisor. Family and medical leave. So if you have worked more than 1,250 hours for the city within a year, you could be eligible for family medical leave. And this is where you are given up to 12 weeks of leave with your job being protected for a serious medical condition or to care for a family member who has a serious medical condition or a military family member. So jury duty and witness leave. If you are called for jury duty or to be a witness, then your job is protected. So you are allowed to take that time off. So we just want to make sure that you understand that. If you have any questions, you can let us know. Same with military leave as well. Part 5 is employer benefits. So here gives information on Medicare and Social Security. We do pay into Medicare. However, in Sandy City, we do not pay into Social Security. So in place of that, our part-time non-benefited employees will receive a 457, and we'll go into that in a moment. So it's just important to understand that we do not pay into Social Security, so that amount will not be taken out of your paycheck. So next is retirement plans. So because we don't, as I mentioned, you will automatically be signed up for a 457, and Sandy City will contribute 7.5% of your salary into a 457 plan. So you will be filling out the paperwork for that today. So, and when you separate from Sandy City, you will have access to that money. It's important that you make sure that you designate your beneficiaries so that we have that on file. The Employee Assistance Program, this is a free service to all Sandy City employees and anyone residing in your home. So this is free counseling services for anyone, like we said, any employee or anyone living in your home. It is free of charge and it is confidential. We do not receive information on who participates in the program. We just get a list of the number of employees that do participate. So we encourage you that if you are feeling that it would be great for you to be able to talk to someone, if you have experienced a stressful time, like so many of us have these last few months, please feel free to reach out to our Employee Assistance Program. Workers' compensation. So this is just important to understand that if you are injured on the job, it is important for you to immediately notify your supervisor that you will be compensated up to 66% of your salary if you are injured and unable to work. So this goes into more detail about the workers' compensation, but the main thing is if you are injured, that you report it immediately to your supervisor. And so that we can work out, and there are forms that need to be filled out as soon as you do experience an injury. You will need to go get checked. And so here are the different addresses for the medical providers for workers' compensation. You'll be working with your supervisor on this, but we want to make sure that you know that there is a list of places for you to go if you are injured while at work. Next is our on-site health clinic. So a benefit for all employees is our scope clinic. It is located on the main floor of Sandy City Hall on the north side, and you, as well as any member of your family, have access to this clinic. There are reduced charges for various medical procedures, and an office visit is only $34. So we want to make sure you're aware of that. This has a list of the different procedures that are available within the scope clinic. Part 6 is our employee conduct. So this basically outlines what we expect of Sandy City employees. And it is important to understand that these are the expectations that you should be able to have of your coworkers and your supervisors, and that we should be able to have of you. And this is how we have a healthy and effective workplace. So first is a duty to act lawfully. Next, duty of ethical conduct and loyalty to the city. Duty to promote work efficiency and morale, and duty of service to the general public. So please make sure that you are keeping in mind that you are an employee of Sandy City, you're serving the public, and you're also trying to work and serve your coworkers as well. Conflicts of interest. So you each have signed the disclosure form if there was any potential conflict of interest. So it's important that you recognize that if there is a conflict of interest with you working in Sandy City and having an outside interest, that you notify your supervisor or human resources as soon as possible. So, and it's also important to understand that because you are working for Sandy City, people could offer you gifts or things like that. And we cannot accept gifts as public employees of anything over $50. So please understand that it can't be that anyone is trying to offer you something in exchange for something else as being an employee of Sandy City. Next is information on reporting and whistleblowing. So as a public employee, you have a responsibility to formally inform appropriate agencies if you become aware of anything that is illegal or a violation of the law. So, and whistleblowers will be protected as long as it is legitimate and honest. If there is improper disclosure or dishonest or spreading of rumors, then you could be disciplined up to and including termination. So please be aware of that. And then outside employment, if you do have a second job, please just make sure that you're notifying your supervisor. Distribution of literature and solicitation of gifts. Please do not bring any pamphlets or anything of the like to Sandy City. There should be no selling of Girl Scout cookies. Those types of things need to remain in your personal life and not brought to work. Computer and network use. Please understand that if you are accessing a computer on Sandy City property or using the internet, that it should be appropriate. It should be for work-related purposes only, and that if you have city email, it should be for work-related purposes only. If you have questions, please read through that or feel free to contact us. Next, workplace violence we take very seriously. You should be able to feel safe here. And if you feel that you have been threatened or if there has been any violence, please notify your supervisor or human resources.